Hi, I'm Sean Brodrick. All this week, the Money and Market team is allowing me to use this platform to tell you about the new fuel revolution. That revolution is desperately needed because of the supply constraints I told you about on Tuesday and the exploding global demand I discussed yesterday. Today, I wanted to explain why the energy sources that people usually think of when I say alternative energy, solar and wind in particular, are falling well short of meeting our needs. The truth is, the average investor is pretty jaded about alternative energy right now. After 30 years of failed conservation policies, who can blame them? From Jimmy Carter's installation of solar panels on the White House to the collapse of Solyndra just last year, the government's attempts to boost alternative energy have done little to help us achieve energy independence. But there is one viable alternative to oil that's already available to us right now, a source of fuel that is quietly gaining more and more share of the world's energy market and ushering in what I believe is truly a new fuel revolution. This is not some pipe dream. It's actually happening, and it's going to create a fundamental shift in the energy markets that could be very profitable for investors like us. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that renewable energy is still a great idea for the future. Unfortunately, it's just not ready to solve the world's energy problems today. For example, most wind farms are way off the grid, so there's no way to get the power they produce to consumers. Solar panels are still relatively inefficient, so they'll only save you a fraction off your energy bill. Meanwhile, hydrogen fuel cells have all sorts of drawbacks. They don't work nearly as well as promised, they're extremely expensive, and the processes used to produce them are arguably more damaging to the environment than fossil fuel extraction. Yes, some of these problems will be solved over the next few decades, but the world's energy problems can't wait even years, let alone decades. Luckily, a quiet and very real new fuel revolution is already happening right under our noses, and it has nothing to do with so-called green energy. Instead, it's exploiting a resource that has already been around for a long time. So, if the new energy source is not new, what has changed? Simple. It's the technology involved, as well as new techniques that are allowing us to get more fuel more efficiently, transport it more economically, and harness its powers in more useful ways. For investors, that means huge profit potential. This is not a trend you can afford to wait on. I think this is an opportunity that is going to explode into the mainstream this year. So I've been working very hard to break the story first. Today at noon, I'll go live with my brand new webinar called How the New Fuel Revolution Can Make You Rich. In it, I'll name the fuel that's going to revolutionize the energy landscape much sooner than you think. I'll explain how everyday Americans are already making huge fortunes from this revolution and why even bigger profits lie ahead for investors like us. Most importantly, I'll give you details on the specific companies that I believe will rocket higher as this new fuel revolution takes the world by storm. Again, I realize it's hard not to be jaded, not to think that things will never change, but this revolution is already taking place, and you have an advantage because most other investors have yet to recognize its potential. All you have to do is beat them to the punch and watch my brand new presentation, How the New Fuel Revolution Can Make You Rich. Check your inbox for details. I'm Sean Brodrick. Thanks for watching.